But what I say about other fighters, you gonna tell me you got no respect for Muhammad Ali, the greatest fighter of all time? That's who lost you right there. So that's your opinion. Well, that's my opinion. So you mad about my opinion? Okay. Sorry for you. But I don't want to talk about it. I'll fight about it.
Now, let me ask you this last question. There's so many fights that people can make and will say is the biggest fight in boxing.
So, I mean, why would you want to fight somebody just because they said something? He did the exact same thing that you did.
Because he felt like he was questioning his manhood and stuff, showing the clips of him getting knocked out and stuff.
Do with no manhood.
Obviously, he does to Roy. What are you getting mad at me for? Roy's the one that
you the one talking that bull. Manhood. They got shit to do with no.
Well, why would he want a street fight? He says it's personal. He wants a street fight.
He want a street fight because he got mad. That's all. He got mad.
You agree with me, Roy Jones? Roy Jones is in his prime. Man, like, fast, footwork, strong. You see Roy Jones in his prime.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Roy Jones Jr. are not slowing down on their beef as the pair collided at a public event and engaged in a heated argument to the point that they had to be separated by other top boxing professionals. It was the last thing that anyone expected from the two boxers. Their social media feud was expected not to surpass the media space. In fact, it was imagined that they won't fire shots at each other more than once. But the contrary has been their experience, as neither Roy Jones Jr. nor Floyd Mayweather is slowing down.
Think about Roy and Floyd going back and forth. I just talked to him. Floyd was really worked up. Roy was really worked up about it. What do you think, Andre?
They fighters, man.
Okay, we're going this way.
They fighters.
Isn't that the biggest fight in boxing today? Like, if that would have really happened, you think it could happen?
Watch out, Andre can still throw hands now. Don't mess with them like that.
They fighters, bro.
Roy said
That beating the guys around him, he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go.
The tension escalated rapidly when Jones Jr. suggested that he be open to confronting Mayweather, whether inside the ring or beyond it. In the aftermath, several figures from the boxing world have offered their perspectives on the unfolding drama. Yet, Captain Hook appears far from ready to bury the hatchet. In a pointed act of defiance, he conspicuously omitted Money Mayweather from his all-time top 5 list, an exclusion that speaks volumes. "No, not in my book," Jones Jr. said confidently when asked whether Mayweather made his top 5 of all time during an interview on Ring Champs with Ak and Barack. He's maybe in the top 10, but not in the top 5.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game.
Yeah, of course.
But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look how much money.
Jones Jr. clarified that he wasn't denying Mayweather's skill, but questioned the caliber of opponents he faced who were truly on his level. "Only Canelo, that's it," Jones Jr. added when the host mentioned Miguel Cotto, whom Mayweather defeated in 2012 following his brief stint in prison. Jones Jr. had a rebuttal ready for that as well. Cotto already was done, Jones Jr. claimed. Is Cotto an all-time great? No, Cotto's all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto is not an all-time great in boxing for this. Jones Jr. doesn't consider that matchup to be a great fight. That's not on your level.
Jones versus Floyd Mayweather beef. Now, we all know Floyd was showing the videos of Roy Jones getting knocked the hell out. And I said, where the hell did this come from? Why he do him like that? Well, it stems from Roy. We all know, I don't say Roy talking.
You're sitting pretty. And I don't know if people realize this, Roy. Your first 50 fights, you didn't get beat. You got DQ'd. Had you been 50-0, would you have stopped?
After I won the heavyweight title and went back down and beat Tarver that first time, I would have stopped right there. But it was in my DNA. It was in my inevitability.
Turning to Mayweather's most lucrative fight of his career against 8th division champion Manny Pacquiao in 2015. The 56-year-old said, "You waited to fight Pacquiao till he got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him." Jones Jr. argued that had Mayweather faced Manny Pacquiao 4 years earlier, The matchup would have been far more compelling, as both fighters would have been in their prime. Captain Hook used one of his own greatest victories to justify his statement. If I had waited till somebody beat James Toney before I fought him, would I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time? Because I beat James Toney. No, I don't, he said during the interview.
Because, well, Floyd did.
He wants some Rocky V type stuff, you know, Tommy Gunn and Rocky in the streets.
Maybe want that. I don't know.
You think Floyd would ever want that?
Well, I mean, the thing is this.
Or maybe they do it in the doghouse late at night.
If him and Floyd was at the same weight, yeah, they could do it. I mean, it would be no problem at all. I mean, this man weighed over 200 pounds. Floyd.
My point is, you didn't do it the right way. With each passing day, the animosity between these two boxing greats continues to grow. But the question is, who has had the better overall career? Since the feud began, it's not just Mayweather and Jones Jr. bickering over who had the better career. Even fans have gotten involved. Amid this debate, Jones Jr.'s former opponent, Antonio Tarver, suggests the answer is clear. The former light heavyweight champion who handed Superman 2 losses claims Jones Jr. has the edge over money.
You know what I mean? Because now we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it. You understand me? But because we waited too long, the problem what people don't understand is tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Guess what? We are fortunate that we saw the fight. Because to be honest with you, Earl came back from dead and made it back and fought this fight.
Turning in a shocking knockout win in their 2004 rematch, Tarver claims that when it comes down to resumes, Jones Jr.'s unbeatable factor when compared with the smaller Mayweather may get him the nod when comparing both directly. When you look back on their careers, it's competitive. Tarver told Seconds Out, "I would say this, and I love Floyd. He's undefeated. He did it his way, but I don't think at any time in his career he was viewed as unbeatable."
And nobody said that. When they were both occupying boxing at the same time, Floyd wasn't sniffing his jockstrap. And I'm talking about Pretty Boy Floyd and Roy. You can't even argue that because we were there. I was there watching both of them. No one mentioned Floyd with Roy. It's not like they're 2 different eras and you can't compare them. They were being compared.
Looking back at Jones Jr.'s career and their spectacular trilogy, Tarver added, "Roy Jones, he was unbeatable until he met me." Regardless of who had the greatest career, though, there's no denying that both boxers contributed to the sport's success in their own way. Despite that, it appears Roy Jones Jr. has turned the situation into a personal vendetta. And amid goading from Mayweather at his career losses, including his defeat to Tarver, Jones Jr. has made quite the offer to the outspoken icon.
Jones Jr. Floyd Mayweather, anybody else that wants to smoke the word, so you know damn well they can get in on question. Has there ever been a question? That's the one thing that's different from Roy. That's the difference between Roy and Floyd. Floyd picked who he fought. Roy fought whoever the fuck came. So don't get me fucked. See how made me cook. Don't get me.
Seeing footage of him suffering knockout losses littered across Mayweather's social media in recent weeks. Jones Jr. understandably did not take kindly to the Grand Rapids star's goading, so much so that he's now ruled out a rumored exhibition match. Instead, challenging Mayweather to lace up gloves in a professional fight. "There ain't going to be no exhibition fight," Jones told Seconds Out. "We both fight for real. What are we going to play for? We need to make it real." Retiring 8 years ago, Mayweather recently fueled rumors of a spectacular return to the ring in the form of a rematch fight with incoming WBC title challenger Manny Pacquiao.
You let him move around and do what he want to do, he gonna beat you because he's very explosive and he's very mean.
I was gonna say he mean
To me, people don't give him enough credit. People always say, well, Floyd would beat Sugar. No, baby, Floyd is not as near as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think he would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off of him? Right. Sugar is a dog. Yeah. Just because his name's Sugar don't mean nothing.
It all began during a June 17th appearance on the All the Smoke Fight podcast with Andre Ward. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. made a strong claim that Sugar Ray Leonard would have beaten Floyd Mayweather if both fighters faced off in their respective primes. People always say Floyd would have beat Sugar. No, baby. Floyd is not nearly as mean as Sugar was. Sugar is a dog. Just because his name is Sugar doesn't mean anything. Sugar is a dog. People don't give him enough credit for that. Jones Jr. said, "For me, I like Floyd and Floyd was cool, but it's like it's going to be hard for me to go take it and beat Sugar. They'd have to do something different, that's for sure."
to their own opinion. And I'm glad that Roy Jones feels that way about himself. Every fighter that's gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that square circle, they should feel that way. So if he feels that way, more power to him.
If Floyd did something different, he probably has a chance. Just the way he's been doing with normal people. What I saw in his prime, that's not going to work with Sugar. Sugar got a third element heart right there. We think Floyd got heart. We don't know. We've never seen him challenged. We know Sugar's got one, he concluded. These comments clearly irked Mayweather, which was proven by Floyd posting videos of him watching Roy Jones Jr. get knocked out in fights to his Instagram story on July 6th, which has since gone viral on social media.
Most fighters aren't afraid to fight nobody if they're going to get paid for it properly. The problem is, you don't want to take a $5 million fight and you only going to get $50,000 for it. Because if you lose it, that's almost the end of the day for you. Why would you put yourself on the line for that? It makes common sense what people do. It made sense what Floyd Mayweather did. Because if you're not going to get the most money for it, why do it?
Jones Jr. has now broken his silence on Mayweather's troll with a July 9th Instagram post that was captioned, "Public Service Announcement." What's happening? Fight fans around the world. I know how y'all are enjoying this sport of boxing. I know we play games and people have their issues and people have opinions. That's cool too. I got opinions and I'm allowed to say my opinions or speak my opinions. And if somebody was trying to send me a subliminal message, it worked. Jones Jr. said, "If you want to prove that you're better than me, I'm always ready. Wide open, ready to go. Just call me," he concluded.
Do you respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like?
You got to respect anything a person does and stay undefeated that long. So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter all the time? Nah. Chavez was 80-0 at one point. 80. He could have retired at 80-0. You go ever top that? No.
It's clear who he's speaking to with this PSA, and Mayweather is expected to accept the offer, and an exhibition fight might be somewhere around the corner. It's not often people get to see two boxing legends beef despite hanging up the gloves, but when it happens, everyone has something to say. One user laughed as he highlighted that Roy Jones Jr. should have seen it coming. Listen, Roy should have known that Floyd is going to get him back. He can't say nothing, man. The user commented, Floyd Mayweather was the king of trash talk in his prime, and it seems he hasn't lost those skills yet.
Roy Jones explains why Floyd and he were so different.
We stood for two different things. He was a social media blowout. He blew it away. You feel me? And that fit his character because he could do it, and do things the way he did. He was smarter. I wanted to play King of the Hill. He didn't care to play King of the Hill. He wanted to play King of the...
Junior, not only did Floyd never get knocked out or knocked down, he also never tested positive for any PED. Roy did, the user wrote. Notably, Jones tested positive for androsten adenine after his light heavyweight title fight against Richard Hall in May 2000.
My favorite fighter ever. He's my favorite fighter ever. You guys know I was a huge fanboy and all those things. I've said it repeatedly. But if they were to fight, I'll be rooting on Floyd Mayweather, man. I can't. Listen, regardless of how many times I've criticized Floyd and
Meanwhile, one user appears to have taken note of Jones Jr. S repeated jabs at Mayweather over the years. Roy has been talking bad about Floyd for several years. The user wrote, while it's possible that Jones Jr. doesn't harbor any personal animosity toward Mayweather, his philosophy on boxing clearly doesn't align with Mayweather's. Someone else revealed Jones's potential intentions behind dissing Mayweather. He's trying to be relevant as he is becoming broke. The user wrote,
Yeah, I think he's a nice guy. Floyd Mayweather added in Roy Jones Jr.
I mean, look, once a fighter, always a fighter. Look, if you're going to attack Floyd's character, he's going to attack you back. That's just the bottom line. It's like with me and Berlanga. If you're going to try to attack, like with me, I'm just having fun.
Well, an exhibition between Mayweather and Jones might not be received well, but it can make them good money. The next user seems to have sided with Jones Jr., leaving a sarcastic take on the matter. Roy should have just taken easy fights like Floyd, and he would have been TBE before Floyd. The user wrote, however, Floyd has fought the likes of Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, Marcos Maidana, Juan Manuel Marquez, Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Oscar De La Hoya, just to name a few. Not because he did a great job, but he did.
Not because he did a great job, but he did it for himself, and it worked for him. But everybody now wants the Mayweather concept, because Mayweather made so much money, staying undefeated, waiting to the right time to fight Pacquiao, fighting the right people to fight at the right time. He monopolized the business. But the problem was, it only made him money.
But before he called Floyd Mayweather out for a fight, Roy Jones Jr., a boxing icon in his own right, didn't hold back during a recent interview where he dismissed the idea of Mayweather being one of the greatest of all time. In fact, he said he wouldn't even put Floyd on the GOAT list. If you think Muhammad Ali isn't the greatest of all time, you might as well spit in my face, Jones declared. If you don't respect Muhammad Ali, how can I respect you? According to Jones Jr., greatness isn't just about staying undefeated. It's about sacrifice, impact, and the kind of cultural weight Ali carried. Especially considering the fact that Ali gave up the best years of his career in protest of the Vietnam War and still came back to dominate. That to Roy is what greatness looks like.
This fight?
If he want it.
If he want it, what's your final message to Floyd?
You already know.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm born that way.
That's it.
Ain't nothing no ever change.
You can knock him out. Your prime versus his prime, you were way better, right?
You got an X?
Are you gonna get an exhibition before that or something?
Floyd Mayweather, who retired with an immaculate 50-0 record and victories over legends like Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya, and Canelo Alvarez, has long called himself to be the best ever. But his comments from 2024 revealed a more complicated stance. While he credited Ali for paving the way, he couldn't resist pointing out Ali's loss to Leon Spinks, a boxer with just 7 professional fights at the time. Ali's a legend, Mayweather said. But if we're talking stats and wins, I've never lost my title to a guy with 7 fights. Roy clearly wasn't impressed by Floyd's emphasis on numbers. And Floyd, well, he didn't offer a formal response to Roy's recent comments, but he did post a video clip of Roy Jones Jr. getting knocked out to his Instagram story. Subtle, not even a little. All right,
Roy calls out Floyd Mayweather, and this ain't a good look. I mean, come on, man. Roy addicted to the game like Jordan Payton. Roy need to go sit down, man. And Floyd Mayweather don't fight black fighters, even in exhibitions, dude. He ain't trying to fight nobody melanated. Go on, sit down, Roy. I know it's a bag.
The message was loud and clear. Mayweather prefers to speak with visuals and shade. The back and forth highlights the ongoing split in how greatness is defined in boxing. Is it about record and defense, or legacy, activism, and influence outside the ring? No matter how you slice it, one thing's for sure. This beef has no expiration date. Jake Paul was interviewed by Fight Hype on July 8th and was asked his opinion about what Mayweather did in response to Jones Jr. S comments, "Nah, Roy is the legend, bro. You can't come for Roy like that," Paul said of Mayweather. When asked who he thought was better in their primes between Mayweather and Jones Jr., Paul added, "I would say Roy was better during his prime, but Floyd just stayed consistent his whole career. But Roy was something different in his prime for sure." It sounds like Paul would side with Roy Jones Jr. instead of Floyd Mayweather in this hypothetical fight.
Clips of his fights getting knocked out. What do you think about that?
Nah, Roy's the legend, bro. you can't come for Roy like that.
Now, who do you think was better in their prime? Roy or Floyd?
I would say Roy was better during the prime, but Floyd just stayed consistent.
But there's a boxing legend who would rather not pick sides. Legendary boxer Manny Pacquiao has entered the brewing feud between Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather with a sharp, no-nonsense statement.